Good morning, Affordaplane ultralight adventurers. This is Terry Adair. I'm here at the hangar with Tango Alpha 1, and man, am I pooped right now. I had to just put these stickers on that I got from the Affordaplane and I have one on the other side as well. I also have the little baby 3-inch sticker up here on the cow, along with my boy DJ's Gravity Lab, DJ Marvin out of Skydive Houston. So if you guys are interested in skydiving or things like that, you can go to his podcast, Gravity Lab Radio. Anyway, I put one on each side of the airplane, but that's not what has me pooped this morning. When I got out here this morning, I had a mission that I had to do. As I was flying on my last shot there at NASA, we did the NASA flight. I noticed that Tango Alpha 1 kept favoring a right turn whenever I got off of the rudder pedals. So my first inclination was, dang, this is a strong wind. But as it turns out, it wasn't a wind at all. What had happened is one of the springs, the return springs on my left rudder, had broken loose. And it was right here. So what you see now is an eye bolt, which I replaced the little AN 3-4 bolt that was just going through the spring end, and I had a little washer on there, and I didn't have them cranked down super tight, but I guess just back and forth over the last year weakened the spring right down here at the bottom, and it just snapped off. So that's why the airplane kept wanting to turn right. Of course, with no spring over here, it caused the pedals to want to do that. And here this whole time I thought it was because of a severe wind. But so I went ahead today and I replaced these springs from aircraft spruce, just rudder return springs, and instead of putting a bolt, I used this eye bolt now so that I can just hook it in there, and hopefully that's going to relieve any tension that the bolt itself might have been putting on the spring. And I went ahead and replaced both of them. So, you know, the other side didn't break, but I treat it like a car. If you place one side, replace the other. It probably wasn't very far from breaking loose anyways. So anyway, that's what we were doing. So getting in there and laying on my side and whatnot, it's what got me kind of pooped this morning. And there's the little guy right there. So I guess it's finally winter here in Houston. It opened up about 30 degrees this morning when I woke up. That's what it was. It's not that anymore. It's about 45 degrees, and it's supposed to be getting up to 60 degrees. So that's a good part, I guess, about living in Houston. You don't like the weather? Wait an hour, it'll change. But it's looking real good right now, and I think I may go ahead and just take a flight out to the drop zone. That sounds like a good place to go. You know, we can just kind of come through here and do a little pre-flight on the airplane. Make sure everything is still all in one piece. Look at that, we got water on the wings. I guess that's from the condensation in the cold weather as it's warming up. But I like to check these little joints right here and, you know, make sure there's still cotter pins in them. Make sure they still move. Check my cables. Make sure my bolts are still on good. Tail wheel connections. These little links right here, these quick links, came off of my old skydiving rig. And that came with the link right here that I bought from Aircraft Spruce. These aren't super cheap, but they work really well. And there's some more quick links, again, off of my skydiving rig. And we got us a nice solid tail wheel here from Matco. It's got the breakaway on it, so it'll just spin you around if anything happens. And this here is our radio antenna. And we got one bolt or one wire going right here to the isolation part. It's got little piece of Delron washers in here to keep it separated from the airframe. And then up here we've got a little ceramic isolator. And then so this is the antenna wire, which goes through the shielded wire. And then we have the ground wire, which actually goes to the airframe. But that looks like that hasn't gone anywhere. And we do have good old cotter pins in there. Now this is a little deviation. Some of you guys might think this looks a little different, but it is. I decided to go ahead and put two bolts here on my horizontal stabilizer. I think it might have been overkill. In fact, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, those are on, and this is good. It's got a cotter pin in it. And these little guys right here, the little guides for the rudder cables, they're just those are just cable guides like you buy at Home Depot. And sometimes you got to replace them, but they work just fine for rudder guides. You come up here and take a look at the wing bolts and the turnbuckle. I don't know if y'all can see in there, but I got a flashlight. Neat little flashlight that I can stick up here and take a look. Oh, I also have that flashlight. Let's see, right here in my little bag. In case you guys ever wonder what I carry in this bag, I just carry a small assortment of tools and sometimes a granola bar and a bottle of water. But in this case, I also carry this nice little flashlight, which you can find out on the Affordaplane Store too, if you guys are interested in having something like that. I try to pick items that I think, you know, might be useful for us light aircraft aviators. But yeah, I can look up here at the pulleys and I can see the bolts are still on, the cables are still good. And look up here and you can see we got castle nuts, cotter pins, everything's in place. And through here, of course, I can see my bolts, my wing bolts, castle nuts in place. So, and I'll just run down this way here and check out our jury strut. Some more hinges. Some more cables in. And this is where I keep my dead bugs, right here. So if you guys have been looking for a place to keep dead bugs, this is a good spot. Okay. And I know that looks a little messy right here. What this is a wing repair. If you guys remember way back last summer when I was learning to fly this thing, or not learning to fly it, but learning to taxi test it, I did a wingtip drag on the runway and I ripped a hole in it, so I just replaced it. And I look along the leading edge and I just check and make sure these are really easy, because you know you got the paint and stuff around them. If anything's happened, you'll kind of see the crack in the paint or something like that. But just kind of double check everything. I like to come over here to the motor, and I like to kind of check down inside here and see, you know, nothing's come loose. We got screws are tight on the carburetors. We got safety wire on the fuel lines. All the coils are plugged in. All the plugs are pulled in. And you know, I used to think, I wish this thing actually came with a way to safety wire these plugs down. But you know, for one of these things to come loose, you'd just about have to, like, I don't know, run into a tree or something, because these things are hard to get off even when you want to take them off. Okay, so that looks good. Man, we need a climate controlled hangar. Look at this little bit of oxidation that's getting up on Tango Alpha 1. You can see the water spots where the condensation likes to gather when it gets hot and cold. Clean the windows off. There's our ADS-B antenna. Alrighty, so that pretty much completes the walk around. Not much to her. Check our probes. Probes are good. Check out the muffler. Mufflers has these safety wires that I run through these springs. Now this isn't a pusher prop, so I don't know if anything ever happened, they'd probably just shoot backwards, but in this case, if they do, hopefully that safety wire just keeps them from falling. Much like my GoPro 7 mount here. I've never had an issue with it, but I just put a little safety wire on there in case something ever happens. It'll just dangle from the airplane instead of falling and losing my camera and hitting something on the ground. So I guess the last thing I need to check here is the air pressure in the tires. Usually do lose a little bit of air pressure, so I'll go ahead and turn the camera off and do that. And hopefully I catch you guys in the air. Okay guys, I believe I got GoPro set situated today. I did get a connection status on it when I turned her on, so unlike our NASA flight, hopefully narration will come through here. So, alright, we've already completed our pre-flight run-up. I'm going to give her a little power here. Check her mag once more. Alrighty. out here today, guys. Alright guys, we're here. This is Skydive Spaceland. So we came in right behind the Otter. I'm sorry, that wasn't the Otter, that was the Caravan.